Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Adam. Welcome to the Vintage Sanctuary. So I thought I would do something a little different and give some of my national thoughts as I'm out here walking in the dark. So, you know, it's a dark cast. You don't necessarily have to watch the screen. So this will be my second national. I went last year. And actually it was kind of overwhelming. I sort of have a fear of flying. I think it's gotten a little bit better over time, but I think it's related to my claustrophobia. And plus, sometimes I have some anxiety around, doing new things. And that was a really big new thing for me. I was just getting connected with this vintage community last year and just card collecting community in general, and going all the way across the country from Oregon to Atlantic City by a couple of planes and literally a train and a bus. It was just a crazy, and then just going there and meeting all these people for the first time. And just the show was so overwhelming. I had never been to anything that big. But I'm really, really glad I did it. And, I'm glad I'm going this year. So I've got a direct flight this time from Portland, Oregon to Chicago. So that'll be really nice. I'm traveling very light. I tend to travel pretty simplistically. I will have carry-on luggage, just one piece of carry-on luggage that fits, within the regulations to take on the flight. I may not bring my computer at all. I may neglect my work and just neglect the computer for a handful of days. Now, I will have my phone with me, but I may neglect my work email totally, which it's okay if I do that, but that is not my usual habit, so I'm going to be breaking my habit. Probably will not be watching any YouTube videos, or very few during that time, but instead, just spending all the time with the people and on the show floor. So, so I do have some, some level of anxiety, but once I get there, I think I will be just like on cloud nine, super stoked. Like a tenth as stoked as Dylan, which is like super stoked. So, I don't want to wake up the neighborhood with my super stokedness here. I do have some excitement, but I think it'll really hit me once I get off that plane or thereabouts. So my plan, of course, connect with people. So what are my plans for the national? Focus on others, which doesn't necessarily mean I'll be, buying cards for others, although it's possible I might, buy a card or two for somebody else there that I find, a card I find for somebody there. But, just focus on others and their journey, and get excited about, what they find that they're excited about, which is easy to do because I will be excited for what my cardboard brothers pick up. So, focus on others and spend time with them. So that's a big thing. Obviously the Thursday night get together and, other opportunities to hang out. Basically, my plan is I'm either on that show floor or I'm hanging out with fellow collectors or I'm sleeping. That's pretty much it. So what about cards? Well, I'll pick up. Well, I've sold some coins and a few cards, a couple that I wanted to upgrade anyway, but mostly coins. And I've put together, more money than I usually have. So I'm hoping to get something big. And I don't know, will it be one big card or a couple of moderately big cards, or will it be, several really nice cards that are not as expensive? I mean, we'll see. So I'm open to the possibilities. I want to be really picky, not necessarily picky about I mean, not just picky about eye appeal, which I usually am anyway, but just picky about spending money, because it's a lot easier to spend it than it is to get it together, I think, for most of us. So, I want to wait until items really speak to my head and my heart, even if they're, they don't have to be expensive items, but they just really speak to me. And anything that doesn't really, really grab me, both my head and my heart. So grabbing my heart, I think maybe that's more obvious. What does it mean for something to, also satisfy my head? Well, I guess, it fits within the budget. If it's a big purchase, it would be one of my priority, items for big purchase. Just to give you kind of a sense of that, for example, a 53 Topps Jackie Robinson, that would fit nicely because I've got the Willie Mays and the Mickey Mantle in that set. So that would be another big card in the set. That's a set that I really love. Congrats, Joe, for 4 Soft Corners for just finishing out the whole set. That was epic, the way that you revealed it on the live the other night. So, that's a card that would satisfy my head and my heart because not only do I think it's just such an iconic card and so beautiful and so significant to the hobby, but also it, would go toward that set completion. I'm not trying to complete the whole set, but go toward getting all the cards I want out of the set. So that's just one example. I would love, I think it's the 38 Heads Up Joe DiMaggio with scribbles. I want one with the scribbles. I don't have any of those cards, although that's probably out of my budget. I think that's probably like maybe way out of my budget. I'd have to go look. But how about the Jimmy Fox from that set? That would be cool. 52 Redman Ted Williams with tab would be really cool. I have the 52 Stan Musial Redman with tab. I would like to kind of upgrade the one I have. I'm hanging on to the one I have and may or may not keep it after the upgrade, if I get an upgrade at some point. There's just so many possibilities. 48, 49 Leaf Joe DiMaggio, a low grade that looks nice would really be sweet. I have the Musial and the Williams for that set, so that would make a sweet trio. Just to give you kind of an example of, some of those bigger cards that I could potentially go after, although the Redmans with tab, depending on grade, wouldn't be as pricey necessarily. As far as, less expensive cards, just about anything of Willie Mays that has Willie Mays or Hank Aaron from their playing days, I really like. I have some of their cards, but not that many overall. So, adding some of those would certainly be high on my list. I mean, there's so many other cards that I would love to have, but hey, in time. For example, the Frank Robinson rookie card, I think that's from 57 Topps. I mean, that I think is a really nice card, especially one that really pops with the colors. How about Pete Rose, 1964 Topps, his second year card? How about Mike Schmidt's card? I know it's 3 rookies in one, but hey, the Chuck Norris rookie, man, you can never go wrong with that one. So those are just, a sampling of, many, many cards that I would love to own. Heck, if, the right, I mean, it wouldn't have to be just the main, superstars, like even a Billy Martin 1952 Topps rookie card. That would be really cool if I found the right one. So basically, I'm just going to, wait for the cards to speak to me, so to speak. And I may come back with, I'm also okay with, I would actually be okay coming back with no cards. I think that is so unlikely that I don't even really think about it or, imagine it actually happening. But if it did, it would not be the end of the world. I'd be okay. I had fun with my friends and I'd still have, this pretty big chunk of change and I could buy stuff online. So, that would actually be all right. So I'm not committed like I've got to spend all my money there. It's also possible I could go and get a few less expensive cards and bring quite a bit back. But I think realistically, most likely I end up spending most of it or all of it. So it'll be fun to see. To me, part of it is the excitement of, not knowing what you'll get. Last year, I got the 52 Topps authentic Willie Mays that just said authentic, not authentic altered. And I wondered for the longest time, I don't see anything wrong with this card. I just must be trimmed, I guess, because the cuts were not super perfect back then. But I recently crossed it to SGC, got the 2.5. So I'm on cloud 9. That is really, just a card that to me is just, I know I overuse Grail, but I really do think a Grail card. And I'm so stoked about that. I mean, I can't imagine, getting a more epic card than that this year. But, I try to look at it this way. It's just a blessing. Whatever I get, even though there's a lot of cards I'd like to have, and I'm blessed with a lot of great cards, whatever I get, as long as I'm happy with it, it's a blessing. And I'll be, as long as I make a choice that satisfies my head and my heart, I'll be super stoked to have it. And I'll feel blessed and fortunate to have it, and also just blessed and fortunate to go to the National. And unless I get mugged in the darkness here, then I guess, I won't see you guys at the National, those that are going, and I won't upload this video either. But hey, anyway, I'm not too worried about that, actually. Yeah, not worried about that at all. So yeah, it'll be fun to see. Again, the basic philosophy, even though, there are lots of cards I would love to have at some point, I try to kind of resist having that mentality that I have this list of, say, 100 cards, and I'm just going to check them off and get all 100. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing it that way. It's just, I kind of like to take another approach where it's like, whatever I get next is just this kind of unexpected, undeserved blessing that I'm grateful to have, as opposed to, I've got to have these 100 cards, and I only have 2 out of the 100, so I'm only 2% of the way to some goal. I sort of like to view it as, hey, I've got these 2 cards. These are super sweet, awesome cards. I'm so blessed to have them. This is so cool. And keep that joy of, wow, how cool is this hobby? How cool, are these vintage cards, for the nostalgia, the artistry, the history, the players, the camaraderie. And I am happy to report that that's exactly how this has been playing out for me, this wonderful hobby. I've been a collector my whole life, but vintage baseball cards only the last 3 years. And it's exactly played out that way, where I feel so blessed and I'm really enjoying, the cards I have, and I'm excited about seeing what I might get next, having a blast, connecting with other people. Sometimes I get a little overwhelmed because I still haven't figured out how to manage my YouTube watching, where it just, I'm just spending probably too much time on it when I need to do some other things in life. But I still haven't figured out that balance. But, I feel guilty neglecting watching some people's videos, but I got to get over that and just do what I can. I mean, it's about the friendships. I think everybody knows not everyone can watch all of everybody's videos, but I'm wrestling with that. I really am. But hey, hopefully I'll figure out that balance. Well, yeah, I hope to come back with something epic on the card front, epic to me. And I'm confident that, just connecting with people is just going to be, amazing, like it was last year, and probably even more so this year. So thank you, everyone, for checking out this dark cast. I hope you had a wonderful and peaceful time, or at least a nice, quiet, dark, resting time in the vintage sanctuary. Take care, my friends.